Hey guys, welcome back to yoga. Let's start out by just taking a nice easy seat. It can be cross-legged. You can have your legs out in front of you if you want, whatever feels good to you. You might be on the floor, you might have a mat or a blanket to sit on. As long as you're comfortable, you're right where you need to be. And just let our hands rest down. Let your palms face the ceiling for now. Then make sure that your hands aren't curled in. So we have a tendency to sort of let our fingers come toward our wrist. Try to stretch out your palms like this. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Relax your shoulders down your back. Let's take 3 long, deep breaths. Keep spreading out those palms. As you inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, I want you to feel your shoulder blades move down your back as much as you can. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. As you exhale, let's relax the hands. Make a few little squeezies. Now let's give our wrists a nice little shake, just to warm them up and get the blood moving. And now let's sweep the arms overhead. You can have your hands together or you can have your arms nice and wide. Maybe pretend you're holding a giant beach ball. And we're just going to twist, inhaling to twist, and exhaling to come completely into it. One hand's going to go outside your thigh. Your other hand is going to be behind you. Just try to breathe into it. Inhale to lift, exhale to go a little bit deeper. Look over this back shoulder if you can. If it feels like it's too much on your neck, you can just gaze straight ahead or straight ahead, whatever feels better. Now keeping this hand on your thigh, really anchor it. You may flip the back of your hand over, straighten this arm, nice and straight, and then sweep your back arm up and over. So you're still in that twist, and now we're going to side bend. Notice if your hip starts to lift away like that, and if you feel that happening, you can kind of ease up on the side bend a little bit and try to feel that stretch that you're getting from your hip staying down and your arm reaching up. So all through these muscles in the side of your waist, the muscles between your ribs, your intercostals, all the way into your armpit. And then a fun thing to do here, you can round down, maybe go all the way down if you want, and then open back up. And then round down again, and open back up. You'll feel this in your low back, right on the side. Should feel good. You can do this as long as you like. Eventually your arm is gonna get a little tired. So when that arm gets tired, we're going to bring the other arm up, back to center, take a big inhale, and now let's twist to the other side. That front arm going across, back arm going behind you, straighten this front arm, and then slowly take yourself into the twist by inhaling to lift your chest and exhaling to go a little bit deeper. You may even walk this hand back a little farther. But if that feels like too much in your shoulder, let it go. Let it go. This should not hurt. It might be a little uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. Let's take another deep round of breath here in this twist. Make your exhale the deepest twist. Really send your rib cage toward this back elbow. Now, just like we did on the first side, let's anchor this front hand, maybe flipping the back of the hand against the thigh. And then on an inhale, sweep that back arm up and over. And this is where you may start to notice some differences between the two sides of your body. So we talked about this a lot last semester, but let's talk about it some more. You're always going to be a little bit tighter on one side of your body, usually your dominant side. So if you're right-handed, you'll find that the right side of your body tends to tighten up a little bit more than the left side, and that is completely normal. That's basically how we're designed to work. So if you notice that one side you can't open up or close quite as much, just know that that's normal. and go with it. Listen to your body. Your body is always going to be your best teacher. It knows things that no other human being is going to be able to tell you. Let's take one more, open and close. And now let's take both arms up and just reach up. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms toward the ceiling. Try to straighten the arms and now slide your shoulders down. If you feel your shoulders are kind of around your ears, slide them down. Try to press up through your palms. So we're stretching out the palms again, just like we did before, getting that nice, really wide expanse. So you kind of feel like the roots of your fingers are stretching. Now we're going to add a little bit of work. So keeping the core really engaged. Imagine you're flexing these muscles and sort of tightening up. I like to imagine my navel moving back toward my spine. Bring the arms back up. And again, you can have hands wide, hands together. It may feel really nice on your wrist to do this little cross. So wherever you are with the arms, keep your core nice and strong. And we're going to, with a lot of control, lean to the right. Make sure that this hip isn't popping up. If you're coming here, drop that hip back down and you can let the side bend go a little bit. Take one more full round of breath. It can be a little difficult to breathe in this position, so give yourself some time. And now let's inhale back to center. If your wrists are crossed like this, switch. And then exhale to the other side. So again, we're feeling that stretch in the side body, your obliques, the muscles that run along the edge of your waist, your intercostals, and then this huge muscle. This muscle is serratus anterior. And we'll talk a lot about this muscle in the classes ahead. This is what connects your rib cage to your spine. So it's a little important. And from here, let's just go from side to side. Go at whatever speed, whatever pace feels good to you. You may want to change up your arms. I like to grab my elbows. It takes the stretch into a bit of a different place, more into the upper back. If you're holding your elbows like this, try to pull them back so that they're not rounding you forward or pressing your head forward. And let's just go a few more times to each side so that we've got a lot of mobility in our core. Our center is nice and loose, however you want to think about it. And that looseness in your body and your muscles will eventually translate, hopefully, to calm inside the body, inside the mind. So with that being said, let's bring our hands together. Try to relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Now that we've gotten a little bit of work in, I want you to do a wellness check. Just think of a word that could describe how you feel today. This can be any word you want. You might feel awesome, you might feel tired, you might feel crazy, you might feel grounded. If you need more than one word, use as many words as you need. How did your day go? What would have made it a little better? Maybe you made someone else's day better and you don't even know about it. They may be thinking of you right now. You never know. Three more rounds of breath here. Now notice if any of those words were negative words, and that's fine if they are. It is always okay to feel stressed out, to feel overwhelmed, to feel like you're having some trouble at school. It may be academic, it may be social. Just know that it's okay and it's normal, and this is a place for you to let that go. Let it go. Easier said than done, but just do your best to let that stuff go. Focus on the positive. What makes your day a little bit better? It might not be yoga, and that's fine. But hopefully this will help you sort of tune into those things in your life, in your day-to-day life, that you can control and you can change to make yourself feel better. All right, so now that we've opened up the upper body a little bit, let's take our hands, you can just take your fingertips to your shoulders, and I want us to just make some circles here. So I don't know about y'all, but throughout all the stuff that's been going on in our world, I haven't been doing a lot of physical activity, and I can really feel it in my body, so I may look a little stiff, and that's okay. We are where we are, and we can always make it a little better, make our bodies feel a little better. Notice what you feel here. If one of your shoulders feels a little wonky, you need to give it some love. Give it some love. All right. So now give your arms a nice, good shake. Let's get our legs involved. We've left them out so far. So we're going to start by doing a pose called boat pose. This can be a really challenging pose. It can also be modified to be pretty simple. So you're going to be sitting like this. The easiest way is to have your hands planted, and you'll notice my elbows are going straight back. I'm going to squeeze my legs together, try to point my toes, and this is kind of my first boat pose. I can keep my knees bent, maybe bring my shins parallel with the floor. Maybe I can extend my legs. And then if you're comfortable, you may start to reach one arm forward and maybe the other. The goal here, you probably noticed how when I took that hand away, I rounded my spine. So try to keep the back nice and straight. Don't be afraid to lose your balance here. And try to keep that chest lifted. We're going to stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. Let your hands come down whenever they need to. 2 more rounds. 1 more. Big inhale. Big exhale. Pull your knees in, cross your ankles. Just give yourself a hug. Drop your head down and rock from side to side a little bit. All right, let's add on to that a little bit. So this time, we're going to have our hands together in Anjali Mudra, which is a fancy yoga way of saying palms at your heart. From here, rock back. If you can lift both legs, great. If you need to have your toes down like this is still a lot of work. So either of these is absolutely fine. You can also do one leg at a time. All right? So what we're going to do, we're going to lengthen out as long as we can. Try to hover either one or both legs. Again, you can always have one foot down. And then on an exhale, come back to the top. Inhale to lean back. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, lean out. Good. Exhale, come back to the top. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to the top. Hold it here. Don't be afraid to let a foot come down. All right. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Try to get that left elbow all the way across. And you may bring your feet down here to do it. That is absolutely fine. Our goal here is to feel good and to get some calm and some sense of well-being. It's not to, make it into the CrossFit championships or whatever. So give yourself a break. Let's rotate back to center. Inhale, exhale to the other side. Either bring the feet down or, if you're comfortable, leaving the feet lifted. Good job, y'all. Let's come on back to center. All right. So from here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and just start to get into our hips a little bit. So I like to spread my feet open. Imagine they're a little book. Let your pinky toes sort of snuggle up together. Pull your big toes apart. Take a big inhale to lift your chest. As you exhale, I want you to keep your spine nice and straight. Think about a hinge going like that, right? So it's not rounding down. It's staying nice and straight. Reach your chest forward. The chin can tuck a bit. And I'm not going down very low. Just enough to feel this stretch in the groin and the hip flexors. You'll feel this in your inner thighs as well. And the more you keep that back straight and lengthen out, you'll feel some space being created in your low back. So let's stay here. Keep pulling the shoulders down and back, hugging your elbows in. Deep inhales, deep exhales. This pose is called Baddha Konasana, and this is actually Baddha Konasana A. This is the less comfortable version of the pose. So let's do the most comfortable version of the pose. Inhale, roll back up. This time as you exhale, just let it round forward. You can let your elbows go out and just let your head hang. If it feels good, you can sway from side to side. It's a really nice stretch for the inner thighs. And now your awareness, rather than being in the top of your back, is in your low back. And you can feel that space getting created down there. Let's stay here for 5 more rounds of breath. Feel free to keep moving around a little bit, or if it feels good to just find stillness, just find stillness. One more round of breath here. Exhale it out, and then slowly inhale your way back up to seated. Awesome. Use your hands to pull your knees together, and then grab your elbows and just pull your knees in. Just give your hip flexors, these muscles right here, a little bit of a break. Drop your head, kind of making yourself into this compact little ball. And that should feel nice. So let's move into our standing poses for today. So we're going to start at the very beginning. A very good place to start, as Mary Poppins would say. We'll begin with a pose called Warrior One. So for Warrior One, we're going to start with our right foot forward. Step that foot forward. Bend your right knee. You want to line the heel of that front foot up with the arch of the back foot. You don't want your legs super wide apart. You don't want them super close together. More of like an in-between place. A good way to check this is to take your hands to your hips and see if you can square your hips. If this back foot is too far back, this hip won't come forward. So we just step it forward an inch or so, and we find our lower body in the pose. Nice, strong 90-degree angle in that front knee. Inhale the arms up. Your gaze can go up here. Feel free to look down. Just breathe. Try to keep your rib cage lifted. Really draw your navel back toward your spine. Let's play a little bit here. So we're going to move into Warrior 3. This is Warrior 1. We're in now. Pull your hands to your heart. Lean forward. Push off that back foot so that it lifts. And don't be afraid to grab the floor here. You can always take your hands down. And then when you're ready, you're going to balance on that right foot. And you're going to try to keep your left leg nice and level. There we go. It can help to take your hand back and manually, let me hold on to something, manually drop that hip down. So see the difference? Open hips and closed hips. What Warrior 1 and Warrior 3 have in common is that closed position of the hip. So again, open and closed. All right. From our Warrior 3, we're going to step back into our Warrior 1, like that. Hands to heart center. Take an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to twist to the right. You may feel that you want to come up. If you can see my back foot, you may want to spin your heel up and be on your toes. That will make this pose easier, but if you want to make it a little more challenging, keep your foot down at that slightly awkward 45-degree angle. And then maybe look up past your right elbow. Keep pressing the hands together, nice and strong. Good. All right, now look down at your foot. We're going to step our back foot forward, and we're going to stay in a twist. So we're stepping into twisted chair. Step that back foot forward. I was like, not sure how this is going to go. Find your balance if you lost it a bit like I did. And then come into center. Take both arms up. Chair pose for 5 rounds of breath. You got this. You've already done one of them. There's 2. Inhale. Exhale. One more. This time fold as you exhale. Take your feet about as wide as your hips, maybe a little wider. Grab your elbows and just let yourself hang. Neck nice and long. Sway from side to side. You might bend your knees a lot to get from one side to the other. That is fine. It's a good way to prevent overstretching the hamstrings, these muscles in the backs of our thighs. You can also let your hands rest down on the floor. Another option that I really like here is to interlace the fingers and rest the palms on the base of the skull. So you're actually creating what you call traction for yourself and allowing that part of your neck to lengthen out even more. All right, come to stillness. Keep your feet nice and wide. Tuck your chin. Inhale as you roll up. Take your arms out and up. Step your feet back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take 3 rounds of breath here. If you want to play with coming up onto your toes and then rocking back into your heels, maybe not completely successfully the first time, but that's okay. Perfection is not our goal. Our goal is to feel good and give our bodies a little bit of love. And hopefully along the way, give ourselves and our minds that same love. All right, so we're going to step into Warrior 1 on the other side. So that left leg is going to come forward. Step your right foot back. Again, heel of that front foot is going to line up around the arch of that back foot. If you feel like you've got too much space between your feet, no worries. Step that back foot a little bit out, a little bit forward, and you'll find the pose a lot more accessible. Take your hands to your hips, square those hips, and then once you feel solid down here, take your arms up and breathe. If you feel like your shoulders are climbing into your ears, try to relax your shoulders down. All right, now bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale. We're going to twist to the other side as we exhale. So just as before, you may spin that back heel up. This is an easier version of the pose. If you want to keep that back heel down, go for it. But if it feels like it's too much, spin it up. Good job. Try to look up past that left elbow. So you're getting a nice twist here in this pose, just as you did at the beginning of our class today when we did this seated. Take another round of breath. Exhale it out completely. And now looking down, we're going to step back into twisted chair. Look down and then step that right foot forward to meet your left. Whoa! If you lose your balance, take a hand down. All right, from here, inhale your way to heart center. Take your arms up. Here we are in chair pose. Keep breathing. Good job, y'all. Let's sit the hips down even 2 more inches. Oof. You got this. 3 and 2 and 1. Fold over. Now as you inhale, lengthen your spine. So you're creating kind of a capital L shape in your body if you take your arms away. An upside down capital L. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Straighten that spine. Good. Another inhale. As you exhale, let yourself fold in completely. Bend your knees. You can have them bent a lot so that your chest rests on your thighs, or just have a soft bend. Relax your neck. Try to look back at the wall behind you or at your shins. And then feel free to gently kind of shake your head from side to side. All right. So from here, let's take one full sun salutation B. This is what we've worked up toward throughout this class today. So, just to get ourselves refamiliarized with it, or if this is your first time in yoga, we're going to become familiarized with it the first time. We're going to start at the top of our mat. And this is a classic, you might say, warrior flow. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank. Hold your plank 3 rounds of breath. You can always have your knees down, guys. Don't be afraid to let those knees come down. If it feels okay to keep them lifted, that's fine. On your next inhale, shift forward on your toes. You'll feel your shoulders come out in front of your wrist. As you exhale, try to hug your elbows in. Again, this is much easier with the knees down. You're going to lower down, and then on an inhale, lift your chest. Take your feet a little wide. A lot of you will enjoy bending your knees and having your big toes come together behind you. This is a nice variation. It's not going to work for everybody, but that's how yoga is. We find what works for our bodies, and we do that. Take another round of breath here, wherever you are. And then release. Let's take it up into downward facing dog. Believe it or not, this is our first down dog. So give yourself a break if it's not perfect. I don't know if the perfect down dog exists, but we'll try to get there. Bend your knees a little bit. Good. Now take your right foot up in the air. Bend your knee, stack open your hip. Step that right foot forward. Left heel spins down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your front foot forward. Lower down. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift the chest. Good. Exhale to down dog. Take your left foot up and back. Bend your knee. Stack open the hips. And then step the left foot forward. Spin the right heel down. Inhale your way up to warrior one. One more inhale. As you exhale, reach forward, plant your hand. Step that front foot back. This time, let your knees come down. Sink your hips back to your heels for child's pose. Let's take 8 long rounds of breath here. So, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone over vinyasas. We've gotten some good stretch in. We've done our wellness check-in, which I encourage you to do every day when you get home from school or before bed or in the morning, whenever it works for you. Just notice how you're feeling. You don't need to spend more than 30 seconds on this. But just notice how you feel today. This is a difficult time, especially if you're a kid in school, and you deserve to have that time to just kind of check in with yourself and know that it's okay to not feel okay all the time. All right? So thank you so much for joining me for a little yoga today. We're going to end with our traditional Shavasana ending. So we're going to come to rest on our backs. Feel free to have a pillow or a blanket or something under your head. It may feel good to have something under your low back or under your legs. But you can just rest here for a few moments. Noticing your breath. Take your awareness to the crown of your head. Imagine a feeling, a sensation of warmth and comfort moving from the crown of your head down your body, into the sides of your neck, into your shoulders, down the length of your arms, all the way to your fingertips. Now imagine that same sense of relaxation moving through the center of your body, relaxing your inner organs, softening your muscles. Feel it move into your hips, and down into your legs, all the way to the tips of your toes, as if your body could literally melt into the floor or the mat beneath it. Soften your face, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the skin around the eyes. fingers and the toes. Just like this. Circle the wrists and the ankles a bit. And we'll come back into our nice easy seat from the beginning of our practice. So that may mean cross-legged. You may feel comfortable pulling a foot up into your hip crease. This is called half lotus pose in yoga. If you want to go for full lotus, you might bring both ankles into this position, and then just let your hands be heavy. This time we're going to have our palms down. So in yoga, traditionally, having the palms open signifies acceptance. Having the palms down is more of an inward-looking posture to take. The idea is to sort of be in your own mind and not be distracted by what's going on around you. As realistic or unrealistic a goal as that may be. Let your shoulders move down your back. If you're able to, allow your eyes to softly close. And if you're not comfortable having your eyes closed, that is a-okay. Your eyes can be opened. We're going to close today with a traditional chant. Bringing the hands together at the heart. Take a deep inhale. We're going to end with an Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So another deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And this simply means peace on earth. That's all it is. Thank you all so much for joining me for yoga today. I've missed seeing all of y'all, and hopefully we'll all be back in the classroom soon. But until then, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know anything that you guys would like to do in this class. Maybe there's a pose you'd like to explore. We took it pretty slow and easy today, so we'll get a feel for how fast we want to move, what kind of different things we want to do in this class. So thank you again for joining me, and please come again. I will be very excited to see you there. Namaste.